I'm dxthelb from RuneNews with a special look and my own spin on what was mentioned at RuneScape 2014 in regards to RuneScape in 2015. But before I get to that, I would like to thank both MageBit and Ben Ortiz from RuneScape Weekly for inviting me to sit in and commentate live with them while RuneFest was going on. First up was a new way to submit your ideas called RuneLabs. The way it works is you submit an idea via a button in RuneScape. If it's well received, it gets passed on to Jagex, and if they also think it's a good idea, they'll put it to a poll and see if it gets up. So put your thinking caps on, people. Your idea for RuneScape might be the next big thing. FYI, don't just come up with quote brainstorms like remove EOC. That came up a lot during Twitch on the live stream. It's not gonna happen, get over it. You have old school RuneScape and now legacy mode. Switch to one of those if you're not happy. Coming up in 2015 is the 200th quest. It's gonna be a big what if quest. Like, what if there was no heroes? What if no one found out the truth about the plague? What this reminds me of is those Star Trek Mirror episodes, an alternate reality. It should be one hell of a wild ride. Coming up in 2015, Zamorak's back and making excuses why he lost the Battle of Lumbridge. And he wants revenge against the people that didn't help him out. But he's not the only one to return. This is going to be like Ocean's 11 but in RuneScape. For those people who haven't watched Ocean's 11, it stars George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, etc. You ought to watch it so you have a fair idea of what you're going to have to do. I am concerned that Jagex running polls as to who will be in this team. I worry that people are going to choose the stupidest options. I think polling who should be in the team should not happen. I say to Jagex, pick your best team for this one. The Elder Gods quest. This was a Power to the Players poll result from earlier in 2014. While researching the Elder Gods, we're going to find out that someone's stolen a spell that could potentially teleport the Abyss into Gillinor. Oh yeah, and we get to build a rune golem too. Yeah! In Christmas 2014, we're going to have a seasonal minigame called the Winter Gillinor Games. And I say it's long overdue. For those who don't know, a couple of years ago we had the Gillinor Games, which was based on the London 2012 games but for RuneScape. We're going to have RuneScape snowboarding too. I can't wait to see how Jagex is going to pull this off. Also, they're going to have, and I quote, a world event sized giant cracker, which can be pulled by both sides. For this sized cracker, there better be a blue party hat in there for me. Coming in 2015 will be the next stage in the player-owned ports, with new adventures which were voted on by you in a Power to the Players poll recently, which we're going to see them cover agility, dungeoneering and divination. Also being looked at is the Eastern Lands, sea monsters and new treasures, and a new direction, apparently east. Isn't the only way we're going in 2015. The RuneScape Chronicle. This was the new product launch. Now when this was announced, I was not happy. Jagex calls this idea original, but it's not. When this was announced, I was told quickly it's practically a rip-off of Hearthstone. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Since I've never heard of it before, I'll take MageBit and Ben Ortiz's word on it. And this will be available on tablets and mobiles too. Well, hang on. What about Jagex's main game itself? You know that game? Oh yeah, RuneScape. When's that coming to consoles / mobiles / tablets? That was not addressed here, so I'm not happy about that. But that wasn't the only thing that was mentioned. What was also brought up was whatever happened to Valley of the Dead. This was brought up at RuneScape 2013. The idea wasn't scratched. Development put a whole new spin on it, which is now turned into Iron Man mode, which will go live on the 13th of October. The Inventor skill. As you may know, this was polled back in January as the first Power to the Players poll, which was defeated by Elf City. Jagex took a step back with this idea, and their idea now is to merge it with various skills, which is what it should have been all along, so expect this for sure in 2015. World events. The idea originally was a good idea, however in 2013/2014 we saw one-sided results, one of them leading to the death of Bandos. It won't be like this next time, we'll have to deal with Tusker, a massive new monster that's threatening Gillinor, and we'll all have to team up to stop her. And finally, I left this one deliberately until the end because this is one that's very close to my heart. People who know me in game know that I'm one of the most passionate supporters of HTML5 in RuneScape. This was addressed. Even though the idea was a great idea and RuneScape players like me who beta tested this for such a long time constantly had issue after issue with it. Jagex realised it wasn't going to work the way they had intended, so what they did was rework the code and make a completely native game client in secret. That's the reason why there was hardly any updates to the HTML5 code. And we will be able to beta test this in a few months. Like the HTML5 beta testing, XP that we gain in this will carry over to the live game. Anyway, that's all from me. I hope you enjoyed my spin on what's coming up in RuneScape. I'm going to leave you all with a sneak peek of RuneScape NXT. I'm dxthelb.
I have to do a live video. There we go.
Act it out, Phil.